Martha's Vineyard, the iconic island off the coast of Massachusetts, transforms from a summer mecca to a fall oasis for jet-setters looking to connect to nature, culture, and cuisine.
It's a hidden bucket list you need to consider. And right here, we have exclusive access to the one place that will create foodie heaven for you and your friends.
First, book a ferry. We suggest one from Woods Hole, Massachusetts, that is open year-round. You can bring a car or a bike.
When you arrive, the serenity of Martha's Vineyard hits you. Only a month before, the island was jam-packed with summer tourists.
So instead of 200,000 tourists, it is back to 20,000 residents.
And that means more connections to Mother Nature.
Walking along the beaches is peaceful and relaxing.
Daytime temps are in the mid-60s to the mid-70s.
The water is still relatively warm for a swim.
You can even fish right off the beach.
Now, a bike tour allows you to see more while getting exercise without lots of cars whizzing by.
You must hit the vineyard's many hiking trails.
The Felix Neck Wildlife Sanctuary offers fall foliage and an attachment to nature that is hard to articulate but easy to experience.
You need to indulge in Martha's Vineyard culture and history.
Now, more recent history is at the grave of John Belushi, famous actor-comedian who died in 1982.
He's not buried under this headstone. His body was removed to an unmarked place because of so many fans trampling the area.
Now, there's a false vineyard myth that crazed fans opened his coffin and pulled out his body to have drinks with him.
Another cultural and historical trek is the campground, situated in Oak Bluffs.
Now, you will understand and feel the religious and social movements of the 19th century.
The campground began as a Methodist revival site in the early 1800s.
The tabernacle tent is still there for community gatherings, musical performances, and religious services.
Way back, visiting Methodists lived in tents.
Unless, of course, you're in Civil War wearing a hoop skirt. And then you've got a problem. And so here, these are the tents. And this was the walkway that goes down to the preacher's stand. Notice that most of the ladies have opted to they have the fabric, but they don't have the hoop on.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they didn't bring any clothes with them. They're here for a week, you know.
They just wear the same thing
Yeah,
every day.
right.
By the mid-1800s, the tents became permanent gingerbread houses with vibrant colors.
In August, those cottages are lit up for Illumination Night, a popular festival of music and sing-alongs.
Now, we suggest grabbing a local docent who can enlighten you on the Trinity United Methodist Church and give you some inside history, such as the scandal of the whiskey ring in 1875 involving President Ulysses S. Grant.
And why he never ran for a third term because of his secretary, Orville Babcock.
At this time, Grant did not know that he was a criminal.
Oh, really?
He was part of the whiskey ring, and he did a few other things. So basically, when Grant came here, he had already served twice as president. He was actually looking to see about the possibility of running for a third time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he stayed here for 4 nights. And when he found out 2-3 months after he was here about this guy, he didn't run.
Martha's Vineyard followed their religious values by accepting African Americans after the Civil War who were denied access to other regions during the segregation periods of the late 1800s and the early 1900s.
That sense of community continues today. We were part of a New Orleans-style band that marched with residents through downtown.
Now, there are also many great restaurants and bars still open in October on the Vineyard.
And we want to showcase a place that a group of us jet-setters inhabited and indulged in some incredible home-cooked Martha's Vineyard meals.
It's a home you can rent called Solara.
That's a winemaking term referring to adding parts of the previous vintage to the new vintage.
The name Solara means keeping the essence of the old with the flavor of the new.
Rick Schwartz and his wife Chris own Solara, which was built in 1876, nearly 150 years ago.
In 2011, they kept the historical feel required by the vineyard, but added modern indoor and outdoor kitchens. In the kitchen, there is a 2-oven gas range.
Now, outside, there is an outdoor range and barbecue along with a lobster pot burner and, the game changer, a pizza oven from John Michael.
And it is a lot of fun because we have our guests pitch in and everybody makes their own pizza. And then we go out and fire up the big oven and go out and entertain with a glass of wine and sip while we're making the pizza.
One of the favorites is a shrimp and lobster pizza with olives, tomatoes, and cheese.
That's a fan favorite here at Solara, because you just pre-cook the shrimp ever so slightly, and you can get lobster here any time of the year, and we just top it up on different sauces and different cheeses.
Another one was the lime cilantro chicken pizza that everyone in our group enjoyed.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers to the chef.
And assistant chef.
And the assistant.
The next night, we went all in on oysters, with the guys doing the shucking.
We're here in Martha's Vineyard at the Solara House in Martha's Vineyard. Been here for days. And
we're about to get killed.
we learned how to shuck oysters from the local shucker shack.
And fortunately, no one got hurt. Now, we followed the proper instructions, and these fresh oysters were spectacular.
They're readily available. The tourists are all gone. The restaurants aren't snapping them up left, right, and center. So there's lots available at a very affordable price. $1.25 for an oyster versus paying anywhere from $3 to $4.50 in a restaurant. And we had two different kinds. One from Menemsha, which is way up island, and one south from Edgartown, where there's another oyster farm. And they vary greatly from very quite briny in some of the ponds to quite smooth and tasty. The nice thing is they're meaty.
We also made our version of Oysters Rockefeller. That was superb, with panko, parsley, lemon zest and juice, and chili flakes.
Now, the main course was cod with this spice mix called Get Your Rub.
Is it something we can fix later?
How is it?
No. Excellent.
Okay.
On another night, Rick and Chris prepared shrimp and scallops linguini Alfredo, and it left Rick speechless.
Did you try it, Rick?
In addition to your own in-home restaurant, Solara offers more to make your stay here easy and fun for up to 9 people.
They supply all the towels and linens already in place on the beds and in the bathrooms.
They have 7 bikes you can use. There are even 2 sets of golf clubs.
You have lounge chairs that you can wheel down to the beach, which is only about 100 yards away.
We try and supply every amenity so that you do not have to overload your car coming across.
It's easy to find out availability and pricing. Just go to this website, weneedavacation.com.
You will have to put in the property code 22456 for Solara to book your time.
And that will lead to plenty of this.
What an incredible meal this looks like. Oh my God.
Thank you guys.
Cheers down there.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
You can find Undercover Jet Setter on Wingding TV, a streaming channel, and so much more.
Like us, you can have your own show or channel to promote your business and reach more customers.
Because Wingding Media is also a social media and digital marketing giant.
Look what they've done for the Ultimate Long Drive Championships.
More than 1 million viewers with 30 licensed partnerships sold around the world.
So, check out wingding.tv to watch Undercover Jet Setter or to create something for your own business.